and welcome back to Managing My Money with Rosa. Today we're going to take my new sinking fund envelopes that I've just made and we're going to transition them from the old envelopes I made into my new envelopes. If you saw part 1 and part 2, I was talking about just in general how to make your own envelopes because I can't afford all of those great envelopes that I've seen online, and how my first set was just kind of all over the place. They were leftovers that I had, cardstock that I had, and they are orange and blue, or orange and green, and there's a yellow in here and some pink, but I wanted everything to be matchy-matchy. So I've recently created a brand new set of sinking funds and cash funds envelopes, and today I'm going to take my old ones and transfer into my new ones and talk to you also about goals that I have for each of these categories. So I have actually 2 separate baskets. This one is specifically for my cash funds. So we're going to take what's left of our cash funds. Now I still have about 5 days to go before all of my cash funds, before I refill all of my cash funds. So today is really just about filling them. When I change out, when I add money to my envelopes, you'll notice that I pull money out of one, and even when I fill them, and it's always the same pattern, I put it in and then it goes to the very back of my basket so that everything slowly pushes forward. So once we get through our cash fund envelopes, then we'll talk about the different goals that I have for my sinking fund envelopes. And then I actually have a couple of extra envelopes that I have to set up for the very first time, which you'll get to see how I set up my envelopes when I have to set them up for the very first time as well. I do not count or track the amount of money inside of my cash fund envelopes. I just use it when I need it, kind of thing. And that's because there are some things that, oh, new envelope, I don't have any money for my RV, so it's just gonna move over. And that's because there are some things that I buy in bulk. For example, my toiletries, I do not track how much I've spent out of here or how much is left in here. I just let it continue to grow, because when I'm ready to buy toiletries, I go out and buy them all at one time. So for example, we're about ready to need some soap, we're about ready to need some shampoo and conditioner, we're gonna need some hairspray for my husband, we might need some toothpaste. So those types of things, I just know that I've got money and I can go spend it. I count it before I go spend it. So there are a couple extra things inside of here that I have. I have some extra index cards with some information on it in case I need them. I have deposit slips for my bank in case I need them. They're just generic. I also keep some stickies in case I need to sticky anything along the way. I actually printed out some fake $100 bills and some fake $1,000 bills so that I can take the hundreds as I get them and put them into the bank. So this is just one of the bank envelopes that I've gotten, and it just stays in here with my cash envelopes so that I can change things out when I need to. I also have additional envelopes for my specific banks with them labeled. So I use my credit card to pay for a couple of things so that I can earn points on them and money for Christmas. So I have an envelope for that. I have an envelope for particular banks so that I can make sure I move all of that over. We are going to need some tracking sheets today. So I made tracking sheets on my printer, on my computer at home, and it really just says what date it is, how much I'm putting in, and what the balance is. And then I cut these apart so that I have tracking sheets ready to go. And we're going to leave these out because I know I'm going to need them. And then in preparation and waiting, sometimes I don't always get around to stuffing my envelopes right away, so I've got an extra cash envelope for that. And then I have a tendency to have a little bit of cash on hand from savings so that I can do some swapping out when I need to. So that is my cash envelope basket. I'm so excited that's done. Just put that to the side. So now we're going to talk about my sinking fund envelopes. So back to school, we talked about needing supplies for my youngest, who is still in school, and I try to keep $150 in here. That's the goal. Once I've reached $150, I'm done. I don't put any more in my back to school. It just sits there until I need it when it's time for school, or any school supplies that'll come up during the school year that my youngest will need. My car maintenance, my goal is $1,000. Right now there's a whole $20 in it. My goal is $1,000. There's only 20 in here because we've had to pay for a couple of things recently. My husband needed, his fuel pump went, so we had to fix that most recently. So that basically sucked everything we had out of car maintenance, but it's really been useful. Christmas actually has a couple of the fake $100 bills in it already, and that's because I've been working on saving here and there. My goal for Christmas is to have $1,000 in my Christmas so that I don't have to worry about anything. Clothes. So I originally set a clothing goal of $200 and came to realize how fast I went through $200. So my current goal for clothing is $400 to have in here, and it's right now is at $27, and that's because we had back to school, had to buy some clothes for my youngest. Debt pay down. Sometimes it'll have money in it, sometimes it won't. I really don't have a goal for debt pay down other than to pay down the debt. So anytime I get $20, $40, $100 in, when I think about it, I stop and I actually pay my debt pay down and don't worry about it. Our youngest daughter's wedding, we are in the process of saving for it. My goal is to have $5,000 in here. Not close, nowhere near close. Right now I'm only sitting at $140, but that's okay. It's $140 more than what I had. Emergencies. Emergencies was larger. The truck problem that I said took everything that we had in the auto and more. It was about a $550 repair when it all came said and done. So unfortunately my emergencies isn't where it was, but I was really excited to have it, to put it in there. And my emergencies, my goal actually for emergency fund is to have an extra $1,000 in here. And I'm realizing I'm probably going to increase that because that's really not very high. Family birthdays, I don't have a goal in here other than to be able to cover everybody's $100 birthdays when they come. We just had a birthday in August, so we don't have to worry about that. Our next birthday is in November, and we are in good shape for that. Family time, I don't have a goal for how much I want in there. I just put money in so that when we want to go do something, we have it to be able to go spend. Next up is a fireproof safe. And we are in the process of saving up for a big stand-up gun safe so that we can put more than just money in it, so that we can fit some of the weapons we have and stuff inside of it, along with some other things that we would like to keep safe. So, and the goal for the fireproof safe essentially is $2,000, but looking at some of the models that I'm really interested in, that's probably going to increase. Furniture. Most of the furniture in our house is 15 to 20 years old, so right now I only have a goal of $3,000. We're nowhere close. We're not even at $200 right now, but that's okay because I'm excited that I have almost $200 to spend on furniture if I wanted to right now. The garden. So I originally set something rather low for the garden and realized, oh, the garden is too expensive. So I've actually increased my goal for the garden to be at $1,000. There's only $100 in here right now, but that's because I keep spending money on the garden. Gifts are those things that I buy for other people that are not inside of my house, immediate family. So the goal is to have $200 inside of here, and we actually are at $220. Yay! Home repair. $3,000 is my goal for home repair. I'd really like to have an extra $3,000 to be able to spend on, we are in need of some front doors, we're in need of a new AC, so I'd really like to get close to $3,000. Now I know a new AC is a lot more than $3,000, but it's a start, is really where I'm at. For the youngest, for his vehicle, we get all of our kids a vehicle when they turn 16, used of course, and the goal for that is to have $5,000 inside of here by the time he turns 16. Land / house in Tennessee, somewhere near the Appalachians, Eventually our goal, my goal for this is to have 10,000. I have a feeling though we're going to end up purchasing something before that point, but that's okay. The more I can save, the more I don't have to worry about where's it coming from. Lottery, we currently, my goal is to have $600 in here. That's what a book costs. One of the books that my husband likes to get, so the goal is to have 600 in here. Medical. So medical covers a whole lot of things, medicines, as well as doctor's appointments, eye appointments, those types of things. So I'd like to have $1,000 set aside just for medical for all of that. Miscellaneous, oh my goodness. I would have thought that miscellaneous would have been able to grow, but I keep using my miscellaneous money. It comes in, it comes out, it comes in, it comes out. Sometimes it covers things that I didn't think about. It covered the garden until I created a garden envelope. So the goal for miscellaneous is to have $500 in here, but I don't know that that's ever going to happen anytime soon. We'd like a new vehicle for my husband, specifically to pull the RV that we have. So again, it's not a lot, but $5,000 is the goal for where we would like to be for a new vehicle. Office supplies, we actually are at the I want to keep out $50 in here for office supplies. I have an addiction to office supplies, so really hoping to be able to keep 50 in here so that I can just go splurge from time to time. I thought I had a folder for this. I did, it was just in a different spot. Right now there's no money in it because we actually helped someone out the other day with getting some work clothes for the new job they started, so it's at $0. But I would like to have about $100, $200 in here in order to go out and start to help pay it forward. Retirement, the ultimate goal is to have $1.5 million. No, it will not all fit inside of this lovely envelope, but that is the goal. We are working towards it slowly but surely with a lot of different places that we have put our money. This savings is specifically for my husband when I get money from his account and take care of distributing it. When I have savings, my savings automatically goes from my checking account and I transfer it over into my savings account so that it can immediately start to grow and have interest. So there really is no goal on savings. Tag renewal with 4 vehicles needing tags, my car, my husband's truck, the RV, and my daughter's car. We need roughly $200, so that's the goal right now for tag renewal. Vacation gas is rather interesting. So when I started this, originally my goal was to have $200, and then we went on vacation and we were hauling the RV. Let me tell you right now, $200 in gas did not cover what we needed to, so I actually increased vacation gas goal up to $400 because we're going to need it, especially with gas prices being as high as they are right now. Video equipment. I'd like to get some better video equipment. My goal here is $200. We're almost halfway. Yay! Getting excited. 1 month ahead. Really would like to have $5,000 in here. We're not close. We haven't even hit 1,000 yet, but that's okay. We're moving in the right direction, but that's my 1 month ahead. And then a new folder that I have that I don't have anywhere over here is my 25th anniversary, which is in a year and a half basically. So I grab a tracking form, I put on the top what it's for, 25th anniversary, and then I'm just going to stuff this in the envelope. And really my goal for this is probably $5,000, just because we'd like to do something that we haven't done before. So, oh, and then as always, you have extra envelopes, which are always good in case I come up with new categories, and that's a lot of extra envelopes. But they're just going to, let's see, we'll put them in the sinking funds and the cash funds basket. Take out the Post-it notes. And these are my new sinking funds and cash funds envelopes. I'm so excited about. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you would leave a comment down below to tell me any balances, any goals that you might have set for some of these. If they're a little bit different, I'd appreciate it. I'd like you to thank you so much for spending the time with me, and I will see you next time on Managing My Money with Rosa. Bye.